No, so like I said, my mom said that she, when she went to court the other day, her lawyer asked her, why did you tell Frank in jail that you're going to say whatever they want her to say in court just to appease them, to make them happy? She said, but don't take anything I say about you for real. You know, she said, I just got to say whatever the hell I got to say to get those kids back. And it's funny, so like I say that to people all the time, yes, you know, your calls at detention centers are listened to, you know, and that's what I'm saying with that Dean Clifford guy when he was in jail and he was on the, I heard his phone calls to his brother from the detention center, and I said, you know, Fred told his brother, you got to tell your brother, stop talking like that on the phone. I said, it goes right to the, you know, government. Everybody is, you know, he's threatening everybody and everything. I said, you can't make these you can't talk like this. You know, got to talk in some sort of code. Like when I get out, I can't wait to get all those muffins and blueberries, and man, I can't wait, you know, stuff like that. You guys better start making up some ridiculous code language between you, because when you say, oh, I can't wait to get out and get every one of these son of a bitch bastards, I said, oh man, you know, you can't talk like that. So it's funny that they asked my mom. You know, she's like, look, I'll say whatever it takes to, you know, to get you out. I'll say whatever it takes to get those kids back. I'll say whatever it takes. Don't believe what I say in court. So it's so funny. My mom said to me, she said, hey, my lawyer asked me that. I said, yeah, so what did you ask? What did you say to him? She says, well, you know, I just told him, you know, that's my husband, and I got to try to keep his spirits up. I said to my mom, I said, why don't you just tell him the truth? She said, tell him the truth what? I said, we're just fucking acting. We're all acting in court. Everybody's just a fucking actor. Everybody's just playing a role. Everybody's just acting. There's nothing real here. There's no damages. Nobody's been hurt. There's no injury. There's no harm. There's no broken bones. There's no blood drawn. We're just all acting here. This is a quasi-court. So I actually downloaded to my mom what a quasi-court was and what quasi-criminal charges are. And I explained it really simply, and it says family courts are quasi-courts. They kind of look like a court. They smell like a court. They look like a court, but they're not real courts. I said, so that's why I always tell everybody, get the hell out of these quasi-courts and go over there to a court where it's man-on-man. And my mom said, well, yeah, she said, I saw that in Virginia newspapers saying that the state wants to take control of the family courts and circuit courts. I said, well, one is a court of man and one is a quasi-court. I said, so a quasi-court, obviously, the state should take over quasi-courts because at least you get a better shake when the government's overseeing them, when the judiciary is overseeing them, than a quasi-court. I said, so that's nice. But a circuit court is completely opposite of a quasi-court. The circuit court is man-on-man. So, of course, the government wants to take over circuit courts so that way there can be no more man-on-man trial. I said, so it's funny. They're trying to destroy the circuit court, the man-on-man court. They're trying to get rid of the, you know, like the common law man-on-man court, and they're trying to get rid of the family court where it's just like one big happy family and the judge is your mommy, and she could hold somebody like Frank in jail indefinitely without any form of criminal charges, without any damage, without any injured party, without anything. So I said to my mom, yeah, it's insanity. I said, why do you think I haven't shown up for one family court event? I said, Mom, you don't realize why I didn't. I said, believe me, I'm sure the judge does because the way I wrote it, saying how it's a quasi-court. I said, but in this silly quasi-court, you still think that you're royalty. You still think that you have some sort of power and that you have some sort of grace and that you have some sort of authority over your common man, over your fellow man. I said, I don't know how to explain to you. You don't. And I don't recognize your authority over me. Because authority, I said in the notice, I just made it simple. I said authority means that's literally means you should take imposed orders compared to being free. I said, so they can impose their orders on you if they have authority over you. So why would I want to have somebody have authority over me? Because if somebody has authority over me, they can impose their orders. They're not voluntary orders. So like I tell people, I said, just go to something simple like etymonline.com, simple like that, and just Google the word authoritarian, and it'll say imposed orders over freedom. And when they impose orders on you, that means you're part of their society. It means that they have the right to impose upon you. And you can't ask compensation because you voluntarily consented to be part of their society. So it's funny. The letter my mom got from her attorney, I think I read it last week before the show ended. But I think I mentioned at the end of the show, I said something about the judge said something I call has a really hard time with authoritarian figures. I said, that's right. I've been fighting them my whole life. You can't impose an order upon me. You can't. It's just like a cat or any kind of animal. You try to impose upon them, and they're going to try to struggle to get free. You try to say to them, no, I'm going to put you in a cage. I'm going to put you in a box. And I don't care how big or old or little the kitten is or the cat is, man, they're going to fight like an alley cat to get the fuck out of that box. It's just the nature of the beast. You know, they don't want to be imposed upon. They don't want to be controlled. And say, well, why won't your son just take control? Why won't he just let us control him? Because I don't trust you. Why the cat doesn't want to go in a box? Because the cat obviously doesn't know what the hell's going to happen when it goes in that box. So it's going to do everything in its power to stay the hell out of the box. It doesn't know. It's like, hey, look, cat, this is the most wonderful box in the world. The cat don't effing know that. So the cat's going to do whatever it takes to stay the fuck out of the box. I mean, obviously the cat, you know, gets to learn to trust the box. It's like, oh, this is a pretty cool box to be in. All right, I'll go in the box. But usually you got to let the cat do it by itself. You know, you can't just throw the cat in the box and the cat's going to be cool with it. The cat's going to do everything in its power to get the fuck out of that box. It's funny. It's the same thing. Like I've noticed that with every single cat I've ever had. If you try to give him a bowl of milk, you try to put milk in front of it, it won't drink it. I mean, you say, hey, look, cat, you can stick its face in it. Like, push its face into the milk. They just look at you. It's like, what? I ain't drinking. Get away from me. They got to come to it on their own. It's so funny. It doesn't matter how. You're like, look, cat, look, you know, I know you haven't had nothing to drink all day. Here, man, this is your favorite thing to drink. This is milk. Here, drink some milk. Here. You can put his face down and it pushes its nose in it, and it's just going to fight you every inch of the way. It's like, I don't want no stinking milk. And then you just walk away. Say, fine, don't drink it. Die. I don't care. And then 2 seconds later, it walks there on its own and it drinks it by itself. You can't force a cat to drink milk. It just can't be done. They just walk away from you. And no matter how much they trust me, it's like, it doesn't matter. They're going to do it when they feel like damn well doing it. And you can't make them do it before they're ready. They're not going to do it. A dog is different. A dog will. You can push a dog down towards food or down towards milk. It's like, oh, food? Milk? Oh, cool. You know, just go fucking hog wild. But a cat, you can put your face cat down at the food. You can push it down in the milk. It just goes to say, no, buddy. I'll do this on my time, on my own way, my own speed. So, like I said, the attorney said that, you know, in the letter, I was like, the court's realizing Carl has a hard time with authority and authoritarian figures. He said, there you go, Mom. And I just actually showed her when I said, good, let me write a beautiful notice. And I actually just cut copy and pasted it right at edmonline.com, and they just said, look, authority, dictator. Look, authoritarian, imposed orders compared to freedom. I said, so you have a problem that your son doesn't like a dictator. Really? And isn't that why my dad's family left Germany? Because there's a dictator trying to tell them what to do. And one of the things they were trying to order them to do was kill Uncle John, because he was born like a runt. And they decided not to kill him, so they left. But their government said, you got to kill him. You got to kill that baby because it's a runt. And we don't want runts in Germany. And out of his 7, well, my dad had 6 brothers and sisters. He was 7. He was number 7. Uncle John became the smartest out of all of them. And he became the tallest out of all of them. And, you know, he worked for Pitney Bowes. And he was an engineer down there. He was a genius. But they wanted to kill him. The government wanted to kill him because he was scrawny when he was born. So I said, you know, yeah, I have a problem with authoritarians. I got a problem with authority. Because they might say that the best thing to do is kill the son of a bitch. Well, how did they know in 20, 30, 40 years he'd been such a great man, like the smartest out of all the Lentzes? How did that happen? You know, so I have a real problem with the government consensus trying to tell me what I should or should not do. You know, I've seen it them make so many mistakes. You know, they're not infallible. They're not God. So, you know, thank you for your opinion, but it's just an opinion. And that's what law is. Law is just an opinion. So thank you for your opinion, but I'm going to have to do it my way. I'm going to see what works best for me. So my mom just said, man, and I videotaped my mom talking to me. You know, she didn't say anything hateful or anything crazy. So, you know, I let her know, man, that I was audio taping her while we were talking in her living room. So I said, you know what? I'll put it on up there and let people hear, you know, like what she said, what happened in court, and Frank and all the other good stuff. So people could hear, like, what she said, what happened in court. And I think it worked out great, you know, that they said, my mom said she went last, and they took it deadly serious, and nobody's joking, nobody's picking. She said it was just strictly doing business, and I said to my mom, I said, she says, oh, and I really hate that attorney for the, you know, that they have there for, like, kids. I said, oh, really? I said, do you want the attorney gone? And she's like, well, you mean like what? Like, you want the attorney to have to recuse from the case. What? And she said, how about the judge? You like the judge or don't like the judge? And she's like, I don't like that judge lady either. I said, would you like her to have to recuse herself from the case as well? Would you like to have her out and get another judge in? And she's like, what? And it's like, yeah, of course I would. I said, okay. I said, I'll just add them. I'll spend another $12, and I'll add her to the suit, and I'll add him to the suit, my suit. I'll have them summons to appear in my court. And if they have to appear in my court, then they can't hold court against me in their world. They have to, you know, my court is higher superiority. Mine is the court of man. So they got to withdraw from their own court, because now how could they be objective? How could they be unbiased when I'm suing them? She said, oh, wow. She said, yeah. I said, yeah, it works that simple. I said, is there anybody else you want out of the case? I said, if you want me to, I said, I could just basically go after every single person in social services, and I have no idea how they'd represent the social services in a family court. I said, every single judge that sits there, I said, I'm just going to add them to my suit and just say you're administrating my property without my consent. And I'm going to have to add you to the suit as well. I said, my suit is simple. It's failure to return property. So, Judge, are you administrating my property? What? Are you controlling my property? Are you refusing to turn my property over as well? Bob, are you acting as a judge? Yeah, well, I don't care what you act as. You could act as a clown. You could act as an ice cream salesman. You could act as a judge. I don't care what you're acting as. You're a fellow man. You've got my property. And are you willing to give it back, or don't you want to give it back? Well, no. Okay, well, then I'm going to have to make a claim against you as well. You know where my property lies? Yeah. Do you have the capacity to return it? Well, yeah. Well, then, do you choose to return it? No. Well, then I'm going to hold you liable man to man. So, welcome to the party. Welcome to the court. So I said, my mom's like, oh, yeah, that sounds pretty simple. I said, it's extremely simple. They're going to run out of judges. They're going to run out of attorneys. They're going to run out of them. Then how are they going to move their court? Look what happened in Alabama. It had 9 judges. It's easy to get rid of them. How many judges are going to have to keep running through here in Virginia? How many attorneys are going to have to run through? How many authority letters? I said, just keep adding them to the lawsuit. Add them to my lawsuits. $12 to add another person. That's all, $12. And then all I got to do, I asked the court clerk, I said, how do we do it here in Virginia? When you summon somebody to appear, when you want to send notices, do I have to serve them upon them? They said no. They said, just send us a copy of the certified receipt, like my mom did. I don't know if you guys have seen it on my website. I'm not sure if it's on my website or not. But all you do is you take you scan your certified, your green card, the certification green card that you get at the post office, and you scan that on top of the notice, and then you put that on there, and you put the receipt from the post office on that as well, and you scan it. So that way, when the court clerk sees it, the court clerk sees that you had a certified letter that went out. You have the receipt, from the post office on that day, and you put it on top of the notice. That's how my mom did it for the judge back on December 6th or December 7th, 2003. And by her doing that, it got the judge fired, and it got my attorney really pissed at everything on me and my mom. It was funny because they had court anyway on December 8th, and her certified letter didn't get down there until the 10th. So, but it was proof that she had talked to everybody on the 6th, and everybody had told her not to show up in court. They weren't going to hold court, and then they held court anyway. And since the family failed to show, the children were put up for adoption immediately. So we got the court order, because the court order got mailed out on the 8th, but they didn't get my mom's letter till the 10th. And then all holy hell broke loose when I got that letter, because during the holiday season, the mail was slow, and I got it around the first of the year. And my mom called me up when I was in South Carolina, working on top of a Walmart, one of the huge satellite dish up there. And she said, Carl, they put your kids up for adoption. I said, what? She said, yes, since none of us showed up on December 8th, they put the kids up for adoption. I said, what? That's ridiculous. I said, they told us not to show. She said, yeah, I know. I wrote that letter on December 6th saying that we were all closed up the farm and we were ready to come down there, and, you were coming and people from New York were coming, and they said, don't show up. The judge, the secretary said not to show up. The social service supervisor said not to show up. We got from many people not to show up. So thank God my mom did it that way. She sent it certified and registered and everything else. That worked out nice for us. So, like I said, the court clerk said to me, just send it certified. So I was like, I'm going to do it exactly the way I saw my mom do it. She put the green label on. She must have went, I know it's post office, she must have went to down here that has a scanning machine. She must have said, can I just scan a copy of that real quick? And I'm sure they said, yeah, because once it's certified, whatever, or registered, they're not supposed to let it out of the site. But if the post office person knows you, they'll let you do it. I know the postal man down here real well. He knows who I am. So I'll tell him, look, man, I got to scan this real quick. Do you mind? And I'm sure he said, nah, go ahead, man. Just go to the machine and scan it real quick. Put in the envelope. Because I know it's definitely not supposed to leave the building. I'm not sure if it could just leave his site or if it just could go over the scan. I'm not sure. But once they certify something, it's not supposed to. It might be out of their control. But like I said, I'm going to just add more people to the suit because it's simple. It's just a simple suit. It just says, Karl Lentz, claim wrong, trespass, failure to return property. That's all. And now I can just keep adding more people. Now, oh, you got it too? Oh, you know where it is? Oh, can you give it back? Well, yeah, I could. But you don't want to. Oh, good. I'm going to add you too. Oh, anybody else want to be added? So I'll send you a copy of the bill too. You guys could get. It's like what do you call it? I try to explain to somebody. It's like going out to dinner, and I'm a waiter or something. I work at the restaurant, and guys sitting at the table, and they got this great big, $5 million worth of spaghetti sitting on the table. And it's like, oh, the director of social services. Oh yeah, here you go. Here, this is for you. Oh, okay. Oh, and the governor. Oh, you want some of this too? Oh, you do? Oh, okay. And judge, you want some of this too? Oh, okay. And attorney for the social service, you want some of this too? Oh, yeah. Okay, so you split the check any way you want. You can eat all the spaghetti you freaking want. Here's the bill. This $5 million bill. Now, however you want to split it or work it out or settle a debt, I don't give a rat's ass. You guys all get burdened with this debt. I said, I don't give a damn how you split it. I'm going to come after all of you. So like I said, I think they're finally realizing, like I said, my mom said, man, they were not laughing on Wednesday. Nobody smiled. Nobody chuckled. Nobody said hello to anybody. She said it was all deadly silence. She said, man, it's a lot different than it was, a couple of weeks ago. Everybody's laughing, high-five, and say, oh, this guy's crazy. Oh, he's some free man. Oh, he's a sovereign. Oh, this stuff will never work. Oh, it might work in Canada and England, but it'll never work here. She said, man, she's a totally different in the court now. Like I said, I was going to do that today. I was going to just write a nice little simple letter to the judge and say to the judge, yeah, I heard that you administrated my property yesterday. Do you wish to return it or no? But me and my little brother, Frankie, man, I'm trying to get him involved, So we were working on his stuff, trying to explain to him. He's got a precipice day, like a preliminary hearing kind of day coming up. So I'm trying to work with him, trying to get him to understand what's going on. So we were driving around talking. We went to go look at a car for him. And I gave him one of my cars. We were just looking at a car interior. So I said to myself, you know what? All the courts are going to be closed today. Nobody's going to show up for work. I said if they do, there'd probably just be a skeleton crew there, and I don't need to file any paperwork because we got a letter back from the governor's office, and the governor's office just said I should get an attorney and I should just work with social services, and they felt that their kids were being held, in a proper manner according to whatever state law, Commonwealth law. I said, okay, he decided not to take it, seriously either. Okay, that's fine. So now I'm going to sue him. So yesterday we filed, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. It's Terry McGuffle or Terry McAuliffe or Terry something. His secretary keeps telling me how to pronounce it, and I was like, yeah, whatever, ma'am. I said, how does he want to be served? And she said, you could serve him at 111 East Broad Street. And she was giving me how to get to the back entrance and not the front door. You got to come around to the back and serve him that way. So it's like, look, I called the circuit court, and I said, how do I serve Terry over there in Richmond, the governor? She says, oh, you just pay $12 and we'll serve it as long as it's in the Commonwealth, as long as it's in the state, the Commonwealth. $12 serves anybody. I said, oh, it's lovely. I said I could just add people at $12 a pop. I said, oh, this is going to be great. So obviously I'm going to go out, send a nice little letter to the judge lady. And I'm going to say, oh, it's so funny. My mom said, she called the court. I said, Mom, find out the lady's name for the judge. I said, so I can write her a letter today. And she said, they said, oh, they only said her name was like L. Jones or something like that. Call her Judge Jones. And my mom's like, no, what's her name? And they said, the court clerks want to tell her. I said, oh, Mom, give me 2 seconds. And I Googled it. I said, it's Linda Scotia Jones. I said, there you go, Mom. There's her name, Linda Scotia Jones. So I'm going to write Linda a nice letter on Monday. I said, yes, I believe that you had some sort of a quasi court hearing on Wednesday, and you had some sort of quasi discussions. I'm going to just use you quasi as many times as I can. Because quasi just means it kind of seems similar. Quasi means similar, like Quasimodo, he kind of has similar qualities to a man, but intrinsically he's different. So like with him, there's differences within him. That's intrinsic. He does have, qualities of like human, but obviously he's similar to a man, but obviously there's differences within him. Obviously his skeletal structure is different. So I'm just going to write a nice letter to the judge lady and say, hi, Linda, greetings. I believe that you had a nice little quasi court the other day, and everybody was acting as judges, and everybody was doing their little acting roles, and I heard everybody performed in a pleasant manner. And yes, and now hopefully you folks are done acting, and you're done playing, and you're done having your fun. I'm going to require that which is mine to be returned immediately, or if you wish to continue to fail to return that which is mine, I'll have to add you to a court proceeding that I'm going to hold in the next few weeks, and you could answer to the court, to the court, why you wish to not return that which is mine. Have a nice day, and God bless you. And just that simple. Drop it off to her, and just say, I know you're going to receive this letter sometime today, and if I don't hear from you by 4 o'clock this afternoon, I'm going to have you, served to appear in court tomorrow morning. Have a nice day. Just add her to the suit. And I'm going to do that to a man named James Glick. He's an attorney for social services, and I met him years ago here in Virginia. I met him probably close to 8, 9, 10 years ago, and I asked him, can you help me get a copy of the contract that Alabama's using? And he said, absolutely not. I said, look, man, I said, the one girl was born here in Virginia. We could say she's a Virginia citizen. You can say that you want her returned to the Commonwealth because she's from here. And he's just like, absolutely not. He said, whatever's going on in Alabama, that's fine with me. He would give me absolutely no help whatsoever. So it's funny, he's in a different office now, But what's funny is, if he said, I said, do you remember me, sir? He says, no. I said, do you remember me asking you years ago, can you help me with a case in Alabama? I was looking for court orders. I was looking for paperwork. I was looking for copies in the case file. I was looking for you to see if you could use, like, there's a technical rule that citizens of a state can be returned to their native land, their native country, their native state. And I was asking you, can you evoke that on my behalf and get that kid up here? And you said you wouldn't get involved. He says, no, I don't remember. It's like, your offices are now here on the 3rd floor over here, correct? Okay. Do you want me to tell you where your old offices were? Do you want me to tell you where your office room actually was? I said, you want me to tell you right next to the circuit court on a diagonal on the east side of the building? And would you want me to tell you that when you walk through the reception desk, turn to the first door to the right, that's where your office was? You want me to describe what your office was like? I said, dude, you did meet me. And, dude, I did sit in your office. I know who you are. And if you forgot who I am, that's to your disadvantage. I said, I believe you're the attorney who represents Valley Community Services or Valley Social Services. Yeah. Do you have the power within the court to withdraw yourself and return the kids immediately? Well, yeah, of course I could recuse myself. And it's like, yeah, and could you make it your wish known that Valley Community Services or Social Services will wishes to return that which is mine immediately? Can you put that before the court? Well, yes. And you do not wish to return that which is mine at this time? Well, no. Good. Thank you very much. And then all I'm going to do is he's going to be served the next morning by the sheriff's department. Like, you've been served. Another $12. Cha-ching, goes down the drain. Oh, well, $12 gets that guy served. So now he's off the case. So then they're going to say, well, what happened to the other guy? When they're going to say, well, we need another attorney to have this, to hear his matter, calls kids. Well, what happened to James Glick? He does everybody's kids. Oh, he's being sued. What? He's being sued by Carl. What for? For failing to return that which is his. He's like, what? I don't know. Carl, some guy named Carl's got his own damn court going on over across the street at Circuit Court. He's got what? He's got his own damn court going. What does that mean? Well, we're going to appear in Carl's court. Well, what the fuck is that all about? I don't know. Well, do you want to fucking represent Valley Social Services? I guarantee the next attorney says, fuck no. I don't want to go near that fucking guy. What are you talking about? Yeah, oh yeah, he's just going to, anybody who's fucking administering his property without his consent, another $12, and he's paying the court clerk $12. And he's serving every fucking body. I'm going to say that's ridiculous. Oh, ridiculous. Yeah. How about a social worker? I'm going to go and ask her. Say, hey, I got the recording that everybody listened to. I said, do you have any intent on returning that which is mine? She said, no, sir, you got to petition the court. I said, okay. Serve her. She's going to have to leave the case. They all just have to leave the case. Once they're being sued, they got to leave. They can't be impartial anymore. Because, like I said, once you establish your own court and they're moving their court against you, and you start adding people to your suit, there you go. The cop's prosecuting you? Oh, really? He's in my case. Really? Yeah, so can he be an impartial witness anymore? Well, no. Well, then how can he testify? He's not impartial. I'm suing him. Yeah, so what does that show about his credibility? What would be his benefit of him telling him, how can he be considered an impartial witness when I'm suing him? So he's just being a party to my case now, a party to my court. So you could actually look at it that way. So it's like my attorney said to me years ago. He says, the Brian Huffley guy became a judge. Says, Carl, man, I'm going to get your children over to probate court. You're going to divorce your wife, and my probate judge friend is going to award you the kids, and her attorney's already agreed to throw her under the bus and you could take the kids and leave Alabama. And we could get out of family court because probate court is above family court because family court is just some quasi-court. And probate court is like a real court. So we could pull it out of this bullshit, make believe fucking family court, and we could get to a real court. And there's nothing a family court could do to stop us. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm evoking the right of a circuit court to be above family court. It's like, oh, you're playing your little family court game over there. Isn't that cute? Well, you just play your little cute family court over there, and Mommy's the judge, and everybody else is, oh, what's funny. Did I tell you that before, Gus? You know, I told you Frank wasn't with the criminal charges yet. It's still quasi-criminal.
You talking to me, Carl?
Yeah. I said to you, I actually showed that to my mom as well. I actually pulled up the word quasi-criminal.
Yeah.
Frank hasn't been charged with criminal charges yet. They're quasi-criminal charges. You see how ridiculous that sounds, a quasi-criminal charge?
Well, I mean, if they charge them criminally, they have to give them a bail hearing.
Okay, what's funny is, so they gave Frank like a public defender.
Yeah.
No, you know what a public defender, you know what I'm saying about when he went for bail hearing the other day, they gave him like a public defender.
Oh, he did go for a bail hearing?
Yeah, but they refused him bail because there's a presumption that the charges, the allegations are so heinous that he's a potential threat to everybody within society. So they would not give him bail. They would not give him bond. And I said, how can you do that without a capital crime, without capital, being charged with a capital crime?
Yeah.
He's not even charged with any crime. He's quasi-criminal right now. And the judge was like, I'm not going to argue with you. And I was going to say, oh, you don't want to clear this up? Yeah, I believe it.
So what was up with the public defender?
He doesn't have a public defender.
Okay.
He has something that represents him in court, but what's that something that represents him in family court called?
Yeah, who knows?
No, you do know.
I do?
Yep. You're guessing. You'll get it right.
In family court?
Yep. What do all babies get?
Guardian ad litem.
Yeah, he's got a guardian ad litem.
What?
Yep. He's got a guardian ad litem that speaks for him. It's family court. He's got a guardian ad litem. He's a baby.
Yeah.
He's a baby. That's all That's all family court has control over is babies, children, incompetence, babies. The judge is your mom. The judge is your dad. Okay, and you're all children. You're in family court. This is a nice big family.
Yep.
And this is what people don't understand. And this is what I try to explain to all these fucking idiots that talk to them. Well, not fucking idiots. People are just fucking stupid who listen to my show. That's why when I was doing this stuff with social services years ago, I was saying to them, why don't I have charges? Why don't you have to actually abide by some sort of procedure? You guys are just making this shit up as you go. I said, this is ridiculous. It's almost like going to do. Well, somebody's making noise bad, man.
I got birds over here.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I just wanted to ask you that question. I thought that was hysterical. My mom said that, well, they assigned Frank a guardian ad litem. But they did what? Yeah, he's got a guardian ad litem. And I just said, this is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. What do you mean a guardian ad litem? I was like, oh, that's right, because it's a quasi-criminal case right now. It's quasi. Kind of looks like a criminal case. Smells like a criminal case, but I said to my mom, the only problem with all of this stuff, and this is what I did with the guy in Chicago as well. The only problem with what Frank did, or alleged to have done, there is absolutely no public law in which he broke, violated, trespassed, incurred nothing. Because when you get these congressmen or these legislators together, they write what? What do they create? They create law. What kind of law do they create? Somebody should be able to answer that. What kind of law?
They create statutes for the good administration of government.
Yes, they create public law. They create public law. They enact public law. They enact law for the public. So, since they enact public law, what kind of law do they create? Public law. Okay? So, when these people who do YouTube videos and they try to make me look like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, I ask these people the simple question. What law did Frank violate? Oh, they violated this public law, this public, this act. Okay, they act on behalf of the public, right? The congressmen and legislators, they act on behalf of the public, right? They create public law. Right? Yeah, okay, they create public law. Okay. The only problem is Frank wasn't in the public when he allegedly done what he did. He was in the private. So the legislators can't enact private law. They can only enact public law. So that's what I explain to people when anybody ever has me fly out to Chicago and pays me a shitload of money after they paid the attorney quadruple the amount what they paid me, just for me to tell them in front of their attorney's face, now, attorney, tell this man the truth. What? Tell him the effing truth? What? He can't be charged with a crime. Tell him. Well, no, Carl, no, I've been, Carl, I got arrested in the rain 4 months ago. Sir, let your fucking attorney talk, okay? Can you just shut up and let your attorney talk? Well, Carl, a very serious allegations he's got, growing pot and, manufacturing narcotics. I said, sir, tell this fucking man the truth. They don't have any charges on him. They never will have any charges on him. They can't indict him because it happened in the private. Go ahead, tell this man the fucking truth. Well, this is a very serious matter. I said, tell this man the truth. I said, I flew all the way from Virginia. He paid me a shitload of money to sit here in this office just to tell you what I'm telling him right now. He says, oh, Carl, no, I'm in charge. And I said, let your attorney speak. And the attorney said, well, honestly, no. And that guy exploded. He said, why did I pay you all this money? Why did we drag it on for 4 months? Why is this going on for so long? What do you mean I'm in charge with a crime? Dude, they can't charge you with a crime. It'll never fucking happen. Maybe if this turns into France, maybe you can. But, dude, you did it in your basement. You did it in your closet. Okay, it's like you're gay and you want to stay in a closet. Okay, they can't take a pry bar and open up your fucking closet and expose you to the world. That's insane. That's obscene. King Charles lost his head for that crap. You can't do that shit. They know it, that you have the right to be secure in your paper and effects. You have the right to be let alone. So if that door closes in your home, that's your castle. The drawbridge came up, nobody may enter. The rain may come through the roof, the wind may come through the fucking windows, but the king and his fucking horsemen better not cross that fucking threshold. I said, how the fuck can you people forget this simple shit? What the hell is wrong with you people? Don't you understand what a Homestead Act is? Don't you understand what a castle doctrine? Don't you understand domestic authority? Don't you understand the man's home is his castle? What the fuck part of this don't you people understand? Well, it's our castle until Man McCheese and he feels like fucking walking through your door, or Deputy Barney decides to fucking come walking, open your door and sit in your bedroom with you and say, hey, what's under that pillow? Oh, you're going to jail. Oh, really? What the hell do you people think you live? What part of America did you forget where you lived? This is America. What part of that don't you remember? Why our families came over here from overseas? What part of this don't you remember? Well, why don't you understand where it says something very simply, that the sovereign power of the government resides with the people? What part of that don't you understand? Don't you understand we left kings and queens, so we all become kings and queens? Or don't you understand? We're all kings and queens here. We're all the sovereign power of the government resides with the people. It's in you. It's inside of you. What part of that don't you fucking get? How is it so fucking complicated? Because how much crystal clear do they got to make it? I guarantee that line is somewhere in the Constitution or Declaration of Independence or some freaking where. Somebody said it somewhere. I'm sure I'm not the one who originated. I'm sure I heard it from somewhere. Where the sovereign power of the people, the sovereign power of the government resides with the people, or lies with the people, or lays with the people, or is within the people. I'm sure it's something as simple as that. What do you think the sovereign power of the government means? What do you think they said now? We're all kings, we're all queens. Yeah, right, we're all equal. Nobody has authority over us. What is authority? Dictator. Google the word authority. It means dictator. Nobody has authority over us. Nobody's our dictator. Oh, Carl seems to have a real problem with authority figures. Yeah, because my family left Hitler in 1938. Yeah, because they wouldn't kill my uncle because he was a little scrawny baby. Yeah, so they got on a boat and ran like hell. Because authoritarian bullshit was nuts. Yeah, because they don't want to kill their baby. So they left. Thank God my Uncle John was a runt, or I wouldn't be talking to you people right now. And my grandma wouldn't have gotten on a boat. So thank God my uncle was a runt. And like I said, he lived with us a while because I think my cousin's name was Lynn Marie, and her mom died. Uncle John's wife died. I don't even remember meeting her, but I remember they lived in my house when I was a little kid. When I was like 5, 6, 7 years old, my cousin Lynn Marie came and lived with us for a while until he got remarried or whatever. But anyway, like I said, it's very simple, and this is when I'm, like I said, going to write a lovely letter to the judge. I said, I hope you enjoyed your little party. I hope you enjoyed your little court. I hope you enjoyed your little quasi-hearings. I hope you enjoyed your little quasi-court. I hope you enjoyed your little quasi-judgeship. I'm sure you enjoyed writing your little quasi-orders and your little quasi-proceedings. I hope you enjoyed it. Now fun is fun, and I require that the immediate return of that which is mine and not yours to commence forthwith. Have a nice day. Oh, and I'm sending this to you at I'm dropping this off at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm sure you're going to be handed this to you within a few minutes shortly. And if I don't hear from you by 3, 4 o'clock, I could take the assumption that you are not going to return that which is mine. And have a nice day. And just leave it at that. And then at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, just hand another $12 to the court clerk lady. So here you go, ma'am. What? Oh, you want to summon somebody else up here? Yes, ma'am. Who do you want to appear? Somebody named Linda Scotia Jones. Oh, okay. You know, you got her address? Yeah. 1 Court Square. Oh, you need across the street? Yeah. She works across the street. I figured that's the best place to serve her. Linda Jones. Oh, you mean the judge? Oh, I don't know what the hell she does over there. I know she does some sort of quasi-court proceedings over there. She's a quasi-judge. I'm not sure if she's actually a judge. I think she's some sort of quasi-judge. She kind of looks like a judge, dresses like a judge, and thinks she's a judge. But it's not really. She's not really a judge. She's a quasi-judge. So, you know, thank you. Here's another $12. Have a nice day. Oh, they're just going to fucking love me.